Good. Hold up. Come on. Come on. We're live. I know we're live.
You're live.
All right. Wait. Say something else.
Hello.
Yeah, there he is. All right. All right. Here's the thing. Here's what I'm going to say first is that we need to stop being tired or complaining about Call of Duty. And here's why. Because it is and like I have all this time. So I was telling you that like I have an hour drive both ways. So to work and then coming home from work. And what I was thinking about on the way home is that it's like buying a car from a used car dealership. And so when you buy a car from a used car dealership, it might be a banger, it might be great. The engine might run well, it might run for another 10 years. Like everything might be in great order, but it might not. It might be in shitty order. You like could spend the same amount of money for a vehicle that might go great and might go poorly. So that's kind of what we're getting with Call of Duty. It's rush production, and so they're still asking for the same amount of money every year, but over the last 3 or 4 years, they've under-delivered nearly every single time. And I think starting probably with Black Ops 4 is when the wheels started falling off. So I keep on hearing people complain about certain functionality that they're kind of dropping the ball on. It's like, yeah, but they've been doing this for 4 years. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, like I told you about the guy that was saying they didn't deliver on the class system that they said they were going to have, where you can update any attachment from any weapon in the class and basically use, I don't know, if you're using the Lockman, you can use the drum mag from the MP5 on the Lockman 5.56, whatever. They're like, well, he didn't do it. Well, no shit, they didn't do it. I mean, what do we expect now, dude? It's not like a game that's taken 4 or 5 years to develop. It's Call of Duty. They have like a 1-year development cycle, and they've dropped the ball more often than not, right? Like, what do you think? You get where I'm going with this?
I get where you're going.
So
It's weird.
it's so what are we expecting? And then I was thinking back, do you remember zombies for Black Ops 4? And what was it? It was the factions. Do you remember they offered factions for zombies complete with its own quests and narratives? These factions will add another dimension to the story as players choose with the Blood Faith, Tempest Novi, Dustborn, and First Legion. So it was like a little thing within the game itself that they never delivered on. I don't know, man. I mean, it's just like we have games, and I'm gonna ask you about Sons of the Forest later, but it's when are we gonna stop? People need to either not get the game, not spend their money, or they need to like understand that if you throw down your $60, there's a really significant chance it's just going to be a turd. It's just not going to be good. So like, what are you complaining about? And then we get streamers every year where it's like, oh, this is bad. They took out this functionality. Oh, they did this. Like, well, no shit, dude. Like, they don't make the best games. What are we talking about here? You know what I'm saying, though? I mean, like, you were talking about kind of Vanguard, where it was really where it started. You could tell, especially with zombies, where they, like, just didn't have enough time and they put out a piece of shit, right? Your turn. Your turn to talk. Are you muted?
Sorry. Um, didn't Vanguard only have like what 3 months of zombie development? Because they started working on like right after Forsaken or Forsaken, sorry, right?
Yeah, I mean, something like that. I don't know.
Like it was a really short development time. You could tell that they just pretty much ripped things from Cold War, put it in a new engine, and called it a day.
Well, and then they borrowed, I mean, they basically took, and I thought this was something that was cool, but they took the game engine movement system from Modern Warfare 2019 and dropped it into zombies. And I thought that could have been great. But it's just like, I think, well, and then this kind of leads into the next thing is that they were going to take two full years, and then 2024 was going to be the next one. So 2023 was just going to be add-on content for Modern Warfare 2. But now you hear that they changed that up. Not only is Modern Warfare 2 that's coming out in 2023 going to be in a completely different game, but you're going to have to pay for it. You're going to have to pay for a brand new game just to continue the content that you got with 2022's Modern Warfare 2. Did you know that?
I heard things like that where it was like, isn't it being developed by Sledgehammer or something? And like, it's pretty much just gonna be like an add-on, like, but it's gonna be a full-priced add-on.
Bro,
Something like that.
yeah, and then like make that make sense. Make a full priced add-on make sense. Like how do they I like how do I rationalize buying that if I'm a consumer?
$70 to get the same exact game with some new features.
Well, dude, and then they're talking about how it's going to be the same maps. It's going to be like the same stuff. It's basically going to be like full price support for what we already got in November with the original Modern Warfare 2.
My gosh.
Is that like a cash grab? Like, are they lazy, incompetent, or is this like a cash grab? And then
It's
this
gotta be
like,
a cash grab since they're taking a break for a year. They gotta put out something to make money.
is there a link for what the article about them? I can pull that to you. I'll send it to you directly. Well, I just don't like. How are we supposed to get pumped up about that? Chat's not showing up on. Hold on. Oh, chat is showing up now. Yeah, I can't. I mean, I don't. I just like. What are? I don't know, man. But then, like, it again. How are we? How are we gonna get like angry about that? Because these guys have been doing it at least for the last 4 or 5 years. It's like we're not getting fully polished games anymore. I feel like Infinite Warfare, Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 3 all felt like fully formed, fully finished games. But then I think starting right around, you could tell things had started falling apart for Cold War, right? You think about
Definitely.
that lag between Firebase Z and Marauder Toten. And then it was, especially for zombies.
Yeah, you could tell that like they had the game like ready to launch, but the DLC and everything, it just wasn't ready, and they just had to take time to develop it. I think for multiplayer it was a bit easier with all the remakes that they did, but for zombies you could definitely tell.
Yeah. So I think it's. I mean, as consumers, as like we vote with our money. So can you? I don't know. Spend your money wisely because you have like good games, fully formed games that are coming out that have like had a full development cycle that aren't like a massive cash grab every year. You know, like Sons of the Forest and whatever else. So I just kind of like I'm just tired. We just either need to not play it. Nobody wants to hear it complaining anymore, I don't think. You know? And then there are going to be people that like it certain years, and there are going to be people that don't like it certain years. So it's like, I just don't know. There's nothing to be mad about. It's just, it is what it is now at this point. And I mean, especially with like this weird full-priced update that they're going to charge us for. I don't know.
Full priced for the same exact game.
Yeah.
You're basically buying the same game twice.
Yeah, then that's weird. I hope that they take the backlash from the community and internalize that. But it's yeah, dude. So all right. So we have the semifinal matchups from the tournament. So we had. So you tell me what you think about I'm going to total up the votes for tomorrow morning, and then we'll have our finals matchup. So tell me about Black Ops 1 versus Black Ops 3, where you see that going, and kind of your thoughts on each one and which one you think wins.
Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 3. I feel like people are going to go BO1. I feel like they're going to go BO1 over BO3. Just because BO3 multiplayer gets overshadowed really easily. Like, people really overlook it, mostly because, like, it's futuristic movement. That's kind of something the Call of Duty community doesn't care for. But me personally, I'd put I'd vote for BO3, but that's just me because I'm a BO3 stan, so there's no changing my mind on that.
Well, that's an interesting point. So we were talking about this last week, and it's people have these games that they had the formative experience with. I mean, so people are voting a specific way. There's nothing necessarily wrong with that, but you don't have. I mean, I don't know. Did you actually play Black Ops One multiplayer when it first came out? I mean, like you've gone back and played it, but you didn't play it when it came out, right?
Nope, I
So
was too young.
right. So people like get mad at people not having an experience with a game, but like that's kind of like the natural progression of things. You know, you only play the game that you are around to play. So yeah, I mean, I had the experience of playing both, and I think I that's the reason that I'd go with Black Ops 1. I mean, I felt like Black Ops 1 was the first, I wouldn't say the first of its kind that had three fully built out modes, but I would say it was one of the first well-rounded packages in terms of all of the different elements that make up a game. Like the really good side mode, the really good compelling campaign with characters that we care about, but also, I mean, I feel like the backbone of a good first person shooter is the multiplayer. And so to have a good multiplayer, I think anchors that and takes it home. So I don't know, man. I mean, like, but I can see from your perspective how Black Ops 3, you would think Black Ops 3 is better.
That's another. You also got to consider that I feel like most people are gonna like when they're thinking about voting for what Call of Duty's better. Their first thought's gonna be multiplayer, not really zombies. They're not really gonna think about the zombies or the campaign. Their first thought's gonna be multiplayer. This multiplayer was better, so I'm voting for this.
Do you think, yeah, I mean, what percentage of people do you think, it's the majority, I agree with you, but what percentage is it? Like 60, 70% of people who would come into, if I asked them, tell me about Black Ops 2, and they immediately think of, I don't know, whatever, Nuketown 2025. It is like 70% of people who think that way? Or you think it's more or less?
I think it's gotta be around like 60 to 70,
Yeah.
just straight to multiplayer.
Yeah. I think that makes sense. I don't know, dude. Christmas noobs. I got some fond memories from that shit. So, all right. So the second matchup, and I was glad it worked out like this. Wait. So it was. Oh no. Excuse me. Like I got mine mixed up. It was Modern Warfare 2 versus Black Ops 3, but then it would still be the same thing. So I mean, did you vote for Black Ops 3 in that one?
I let me check. I'm pretty. Yeah, I did.
Okay. Yeah, but the same reason. And so that was the other matchup was Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2. So that becomes, I think, more difficult for everybody. Like people have kind of a tough time deciding what that ends up being, which direction to go. And then both of them were prior to your days. So how do you pick? Based on what?
Just based on what I found more fun. That's what I'm going with.
So which one did you vote for Black Ops 2?
Uh, this one was actually the one I didn't vote for.
Okay. So if you were
think-
going to vote, which one would you vote for?
I think overall I'd have to go for BO1.
BO1? All right. Yeah, I mean, I think Black Ops 2 is going to win hands down. I think in terms of, and if you're looking at the whole picture, I think it's tough to beat Black Ops 1. I think I think you had the more classic zombies maps. I mean, sure you had like two of the greatest of all time with Mob and Origins, but you had some duds in there. And I think, oh man, I don't know, dude. I think between multiplayer, Black Ops 2 wins. I think Black Ops 2 wins even regardless. So I think it wins because of multiplayer and campaign. And zombies on Black Ops 1 is better. So I would say Black Ops 2. So that takes us to the finals, which, based on how it's looking right now, is going to be Black Ops 2 versus Modern Warfare 2. So what do both of those were before your time, but what do you think about that matchup and where do you kind of have those?
Ooh, that's tough.
That's going to be a fight. That's going to be a knockdown, drag out fight, dude. So, all right. So what do you think?
I'm trying to like base my experience off of it because the only time that I've like played like an alive BO2's been Plutonium, and I've never really played an alive Modern Warfare 2. But they're both great games. So I don't know.
So
Uh,
I sit you down and I tell you you have to pick or I'm gonna blow up the world. Like which one do you pick?
I think I'd have to go for BO2 just because I love Treyarch and I'm a Treyarch fanboy.
All right.
So I think I'll choose Treyarch over Modern Warfare.
All right. So I think I think Modern Warfare 2 was kind of like I think they were both game changers. But and I looked up, I mean like as I was setting this up, I looked at the reviews for everything. I looked at what people were saying. I looked at how many 5-star reviews they had for the whole game. I looked at all the media that they had discussing the games themselves and like as I was setting this up just to kind of like reacquaint myself with it. And they were both I think at the time Modern Warfare 2 was like a game changer. I think Modern Warfare 1 introduced elements of multiplayer first person shooters that we hadn't seen before. And I think there was a lot of those elements that older Call of Duty, specifically the Modern Warfare games, can like that was them. They did that. They made that change. And so and I especially those campaigns that like the characters that people actually care about, Soap and Price and all of those guys. So I mean like they're both classics, Black Ops 2 and Modern Warfare 2, but I think it's Modern Warfare 2 in my perspective. And I know it does have Spec Ops. It doesn't have a fully built out zombies mode, but I'm not basing it off of zombies. I'd say multiplayer and campaign Modern Warfare 2 beats it, and then zombies beats Spec Ops. But then I think that's like 2 out of 3 pieces of it. Modern Warfare 2 takes it. But that's I don't know. To be completely honest, I think it's gonna be a blowout. I think Black Ops 2 is gonna win in a landslide.
Oh, probably. So, I mean, it's Black Ops 2. You put Black Ops 2 up there, people are going to vote for it instantly.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see, man. I'm interested to see what that is, and I kind of have the scripts already written out for the videos and stuff. It's been interesting. You know what we should do? What do you think about this? Is like redoing the best zombies of all time because that was like the first tournament I ever ran.
I'm really curious. Like, you should like go back and like compare it afterwards and just see if people's like minds have really changed at all over the years, or if your videos have reached to a different audience.
Do you
If
know
the votes are like the same or not, or if it's like different.
what do you think won? And with that, because this was before you were following me and part of the community. But what do you
Surely
think won?
BO3 won, right?
BO2 won.
BO2?
BO2, and it was I think it was 52-48. It was close, and it like
Okay, that makes more sense.
yeah, it was close. But Black Ops 1 got knocked out in the semis, and it was Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3 in the final, and Black Ops 2 won.
Of course, it's BO2 and BO3 in the finals. I mean,
Yeah. I can
not really
honestly,
any others.
yeah, I can see it being Black Ops 1, Black Ops 3 in the finals. But like, I don't know. You see people's hate for certain modes in there. We got to do that. Let's do. I mean, like, as soon as I'm done with the best game of all time, I'm gonna do the best zombies again.
Oh, did you put Cold War up there? Like, was Cold War out?
Cold War was out in the first round. Cold War went against Black Ops 2. And so it was like that 1-8 matchup where like the number 8 seed is cannon fodder for the number 1 seed. So
Now I'm curious to see how Cold War would do now that people have had time with it and it's kind of grown on them.
that's
Now I'm
true.
curious to see how it would perform.
It's true because we only had one map at that time. It was only D Machine when I did it. So it was January or February of
So
yeah.
Firebase Z might not even been out.
No, Firebase Z wasn't out yet. So I did that, and then I did the best map of all time. We need to do best map of all time too. We'll revisit all of our zombies roots.
Surely Vanguard gets wiped out first wave, right? Like, surely.
100%. I mean,
The only
garbage.
people who are gonna vote for Vanguard is like the trolls.
It's gotta
The
be,
only way
dude.
Vanguard is not coming out is if it's going up against like Exo Zombies or something.
I know, dude. I want to play Exo Zombies. What would you? Out of
I've never played Exo Zombies before.
I kind of like. I want to do the Easter eggs. I kind of want to do the
It has
Easter eggs.
Easter eggs?
Yeah, I mean, it's like a completely different timeline, but I kind of feel like I don't know. I want to play Extinction mode and Ghosts. I want to go back and play World War II zombies and Advanced Warfare zombies. So out of those three, which one would you want to play the most?
Definitely World War II because I really enjoyed the Final Reich.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna buy World War II and play some of that on stream. And we can do. I mean, those some of those Easter eggs were more like beginner based Easter eggs, trying to be welcoming for the community too. So I don't know. We could. I think we could knock out some of those. So
Final Reich and that one like small Noct inspired map where that was a lot of fun for me to play.
that's true, dude. We should go back and play that. Okay, so
I'll
I
wait for it to go on sale. That is.
yeah, dude. I don't know. Steam has lost their minds. I don't know how that works. So what are we saying? We think Black Ops 2 wins the tournament.
I think Black Ops 2 win. Like,
Yeah.
I'd be willing to put money on that.
All right. So that we're going on with that. All right. So this is kind of a random one, but where do you rank CS:GO in all-time video game history? Where do you have it? And like, even though you may not like it and you may not play it, it's like still been insanely influential. I mean, like came out in 2012 and people are still playing it. Like servers are completely
Oh,
full.
for sure.
So where do you rank CS:GO all time?
CS:GO is just a classic game, so I feel like all time, just out of every single video game that's ever existed, it's gotta be, if not top 10, then top 20.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
gotta be up there, not maybe for being the best, but just because, like, it really just changed the game, really. Like, it really did.
It really did. I mean, and then you think about it, and having basically having every other game that has an S&D mode, basing it off of CS:GO. I mean, Counter Strike, but then having and then I think that CS:GO was like that one influential game that really shaped everything else. Because yeah, I don't know. That's a really I just a well done game. I think I don't know if like the gunplay is the absolute best. I mean, the mechanics are the best, but I think well, and I think we're thinking that they're going to get a refresh or a newer version of that. So I mean, obviously, like it's dated mechanics, but I think that's just looking at it from a 2023 perspective, looking back. But I think it's easily like a top 10 most influential game of all time, and really shaped other games in terms of modes, how they set it up, I guess how gunplay works. I mean, obviously, it's the reason that Valorant exists, and Valorant is another one of the most influential, I guess, competitive games that's out there. So, I mean, CS:GO is the basis for that. So, yeah, I'd agree.
If I pop in here, if we're talking about influential games, and I know this is kind of obvious coming from me, but I feel like we gotta talk about TF2.
TF2?
I feel like TF2 is also one of those games that really changed like first-person shooters.
When did TF2 come out?
2007.
And I mean, you think about it, 2007, and there's elements. When did Overwatch come out? Because I feel like there's elements of TF2 in Overwatch.
Without TF2, there wouldn't be any Overwatch.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I mean, it's another one of those games that's been around so long, and like people are still so dedicated and devoted to it. But then you play that. I mean, I don't know. I haven't played much personally myself, but you see the clips and you're like, oh, that's where that came from. That's where that mechanic in another game came from. It came from TF2 or from TF, their first one.
And the thing about TF2 is it didn't just inspire gaming, but so much of just the internet culture in general. There's so many memes. Source Filmmaker is a thing just pretty much because of TF2. It's as popular as it is. TF2 was not only great for gaming, but just for like internet meme culture as well. Like it was good up there.
So what's the
even if you're not a gamer, you probably recognize some of the TF2 characters.
100%
on the internet.
All right, so but what's the number one TF2 meme that you think the most people would know?
TF2 name?
Meme, yeah.
Surely it would be Meet the Spy video, where it could be you, it could be me, it could even be like. It has to be that.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone's seen that.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and then I mean to see, all you have to do is see like the number of concurrent viewers or a number of concurrent players on Steam to know that that game is still alive and well. I mean, we've had games that have come and gone. I mean, you want to talk about like games with no staying power, like some of these Call of Duty games that like we that come out and we forget about it. 2 months later, but TF2 is still here. What it came out, Jesus, I mean it's been around since the sniper meme. James says the sniper meme is the number one.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, so yeah,
Also, the engineer Nope, because I feel like everyone knows that sound effect.
nope, yep, 100%, man. I mean, I don't even have to like see it. It's just like I hear it in my head. So yeah, I was playing some Valorant last night and some CS:GO, and I was just kind of thinking about where that all stacks up. But that is. So what are you playing right now? What are you playing right now? And then what are you looking forward to?
So obviously, number one game I'm playing right now, Sons of the Forest. I have almost 70 hours on it.
70 hours. When did you start playing?
Day it came out, which was the 23rd, 24th, 20, one of those, 23rd or 24th. So it's been around 2 weeks.
70 hours. All right. So break down, like, what is it about that game that pulled you in?
First of all, it's a sequel to The Forest, so instantly I was in. Me and one of my friends are huge fans of The Forest, so this was pretty much an instant buy. And there's just something, like, I'm not really too into survival games, but there's just something about The Forest that like really connected with me. I don't know what I think it was like the exploration factor at the beginning of the game. You're going into all these different caves to find certain items. You kind of like have to. It's kind of like a learning curve to it. Like you have to learn where the map, which is like pretty big. You have to learn where things are. You have to learn to navigate. The building's pretty fun.
Is it open world or is it like a set portion of the map?
Open world.
Okay. So like it's a
Full
massive
island
map.
to your disposal.
Okay.
It's a pretty big map, but Sons of the Forest is way bigger. Like, I'm pretty sure if you're just walking around the edge of the island, it takes you like 3 hours to go completely around. It is a huge map. Which is why I'm waiting for them to add some sort of fast travel.
Can you beat it? Can you beat the game? Is it
Yes,
something
you can.
you can beat? Okay.
It's not great right now because it's in early access, so like there's not really a complete story yet. But yeah, you can beat it.
Okay. That's pretty cool. And I mean, I don't know. So that's pretty exciting. So what are you most looking forward to? You're playing Sons of the Forest. You gave up on Call of Duty. I don't blame you. But what are you looking forward to?
I guess what I'd be looking forward to the most is either Spider-Man 2 coming out this year, because I really enjoyed the first one, so I really want to play the second one, and the next Call of Duty Black Ops that comes out in 2024. Those are really the only two games I'm looking forward to right now.
We don't have a Halo anywhere on the horizon, right? I mean, you want to talk about
I
another?
don't think so.
Yeah, Halo Infinite just died. It's such a bummer. But they finally got. I think the game finally got fully built out, but I think it was too little, too late. It's kind of like along the lines of COD, where it's like you don't push out full functionality of the game until 6-7 months in. And people are like, "Yeah, we don't give a shit anymore," you know. All right.
I really enjoyed it though when it first came out.
Yeah, I did too, man. It's just like it was tough. I mean, we had some fun streams and we had some fun like dubs with subs and we had some fun multiplayer days when we were playing it. I don't know. I mean, it died. It seems like it died really fast. They actually had like a competitive scene for it.
They actually?
Yeah.
Did not know that.
Yeah, Optic Formal is playing. He's a professional Halo player now. That's pretty funny, right? So.
Interesting.
As far as me, I mean, like I've been bouncing back and forth. I have played every Call of Duty dating back to World at War for content, just kind of like either playing it on stream or playing it to video content. I've done the old zombies, and then I've mixed in some of the Resident Evils. And I don't know, man. I mean, I'm having a lot of fun. My streams are the biggest when I play Infinite Warfare, and I really haven't quite figured it out. I think there's like enough people miss that. Like that's the last game that people kind of miss. You know what I'm saying? Like people don't really miss Modern Warfare 2019 yet. They don't really miss Black Ops 4 yet. I think they miss Infinite Warfare, and like they had that first experience, and then we went through that cycle. The year cycle that it had, and then they moved on, and then people were like, oh, you know, because people miss like Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, World at War, all of that shit. But I think that's the first one, the most recent one that people actually miss. Because, like, I mean, I've been averaging like 250, almost 300 people on stream when I play that. I tried to play Hogwarts Legacy, but there is the feedback. If I had feedback for the developers on that, there's too much talking and not enough action. And there's action, but like it feels like you are having a conversation every 3 minutes. And it's like,
Oh yeah.
bro, I have ADHD and I can't do that. I just can't fucking sit there and do that. Like I appreciate the level of effort that they put into the game, but I cannot sit there and like I can't scroll through the conversation fast enough. So you were watching, you know how it is.
Anytime I watch, it's just like you get out of a dialogue, and then 2 seconds later, oh hi there, you want to talk?
Oh yeah, I'm a goblin. I'm the friend from the other goblin, but you have to talk to me now. I think the one play, I think the map itself is amazing. I think the story that they developed is amazing. I would just say it really limits it that there's just too much talking. And then you know what I'm looking forward to is that Resident Evil 4 remake is coming out, which is I don't know. That was I'm interested to see because I really like the fixed camera angle Resident Evil 1 and 2 and 3 when they first came out. And then when they re-released 2 and 3, it was different. But I still liked it because it was more third person. And that was the first one that I didn't really like it that much because I didn't like the gameplay. I didn't like how the gameplay was structured. But I'm kind of wondering if I played the remake because I guess the game engine movement system looks a little bit different than it did the first time they did it. So I'm kind of wondering about that. But I think I don't know, that seems interesting to me. I'm obviously going to play it. It's Resident Evil. Yeah, I think Resident Evil 4 is going to be exciting. And then
the demo just came out, and I'm probably gonna download it tonight and play it tomorrow. Honestly,
do it. But then
I've never played Resident Evil. It's on my bucket list to play it.
So, Apex. I told you I played Apex last night, and it's something that is it's. To hear their community talk about it, you would think it's the worst game ever. But as somebody who plays more Call of Duty than anything else, Apex is such a well done game. It's optimized. It's set up well for a PC. I mean, it runs well. I think it is. There is a massive skill gap. I mean, like you can be kind of a casual and play it, but you could also be somebody who's cracked out of their mind. So there's so many different levels of it. They launched it with competitive, so it's something that Call of Duty players wanted desperately, but they don't have. That was what I didn't like about OG Resident Evil 4 is it didn't have fixed camera angles. So that's why I really couldn't get into it. And then Fortnite, man. So Fortnite just came out with their new season today. And you want to talk about something that has staying power. I mean, it's basically been the same game since 2017. They've just updated it. It's not something new. I mean, obviously, like they've brushed up the code, but it's been the same game since 2017. So you both, and then Apex came out in 2019. And so in that same amount of time, Call of Duty has had 3 or 4 different shots at it. And I would say arguably have put out worse games than both Fortnite and Apex in that time frame. You know what I mean? It may not be for everybody, but I would say objectively, if you look at those games, they have so much going for them. I mean, they have a massive competitive scene. They have fully formed games that have, I mean, it's not, whenever they do have broken guns, they're out of there quickly. You know, it's not like some sort of cash grab to try to trick you into buying the broken gun. It's like, oh shit, we broke a gun and they fix it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think those are, I just feel like those two communities may not realize what they have. As somebody who plays mostly COD, coming over to those games, it's kind of a bummer. But so something I was gonna ask you is that, but we're doing the podcast tonight, so it's I don't know. You can hang around if you wanna chat. If you want your chat to pop up on screen, you can go over to YouTube. So that's what you're reading right now. So what I was going to ask you is based on is Call of Duty. I would say that there's still a ton of streams, people streaming Warzone, but what I've seen a massive influx of is people playing ranked, playing competitive.
Oh yeah.
And I would say that this is something that Modern Warfare 2 2022 has done really, really well. And I would say the game engine and movement system are far more suited for multiplayer because it's not like big, massive maps, long sight lines. You aren't as reliant on one-shot snipers. The TTK. I mean, like the whole Warzone 2 conversation about TTK is not relevant for multiplayer. So like the game engine movement system TTK that they have for this game, it's perfect for multiplayer. And I have seen so many people being drawn in by the competitive and ranked scene that they have on Modern Warfare 2. It's been kind of exciting to watch, and like people grinding for iridescent and having people that seem to care about it. I mean, I've played a lot of ranked, and honestly, I feel like that is one of that is, and I want to get them their just due. Is that something that they've done well with this game? Is the ranked is I feel like the shining point of the game itself. What do you think? Have you? I mean, like, do you watch as? I don't know if you watch as much streams as I do, but there's a ton of ranked out there.
I don't watch many streams, but I know what you're talking about because I've definitely seen an increase in like videos I'll see on my For You page. Like, there's definitely an increase of like Call of Duty videos, and it's all ranked. People just talking about ranked, and it's kind of cool to see that everyone's like enjoying it. I haven't played it because I haven't downloaded the new update since it came out.
Right.
But
What? No,
it's
finish your
cool
thought.
to see everyone talking about it and like getting excited about it. Like I've seen, I don't know if this is true, but I've seen that like Warzone is like still down like an all-time low, while multiplayer is just like going up and up and up in the player count.
It's true, and the active number of players for multiplayer, I think it was double. When I looked at it, it was double for multiplayer versus Warzone. So ranked is good. They put it in. Now there's something to actually work towards after campaign and camos. Not much, man. What you been up to? No, I think what it's done is that I think it's shown an entirely new generation of people that there's something else you can aspire to when playing Call of Duty. It's not just Warzone. And I think it's something else that could be exciting is having competitive Warzone. I guess we'll see what form that takes. Is that teams? Is that solos? What does that look like? But that's kind of like a different discussion for a different day. But having the increased interest in ranked, I think that is one. It's increased. I think people's interest in these ranked these league matches. So I think there's more people watching the league, which I think is great because these guys are absolute. This is like another level of playing video games. And I don't know if everybody realizes this. Like they drop a 30 bomb and they think they could go play with Scump. And it's like, no, dude, like there is levels to this. And these guys are absolutely insane. They're like another level of video games. But I think having a really good, well done ranked has lent itself to growing interest in the league itself. And I think that's phenomenal because these guys, I don't know, is this a sport? Are we calling it a sport? If golf's a sport, then pro gaming is a sport. All right. But, you know,
Just all the golf players.
I play golf, man. I don't know if is pool a sport? Is golf a sport? Gaming's a sport. What do I think about ranked Warzone confirmed for next year? I'll be interested to see how that works out. What form does it take? Is it solos, quads, trios? Is it just like trios and quads? Is it on Al Mazrah? I wonder because I don't know with the TTK, they're going to have to buff the time to kill. They're going to have to buff everybody's HP to make it work. Because it's going to confirm everybody's point about there not being any sort of outplayability and the skill gap. Because when they roll out ranked, we'll know exactly what the devs think about what it takes to have ranked. So if they increase the movement, if they increase the health, then that's what they're saying, what everybody's been saying since this game came out. that there's no skill gap, that the TTK is too low. So we'll see. I'm excited to see what they do. What do you think? So what do you think about Warzone ranked?
I'm not too sure like how that would go really. Like I could see it in Warzone 1. I can't really see it in Warzone 2 though. Like I don't really see ranked working out that well.
For all the TTK type reasons? What do you
Like just like what you said, like I don't see it working well with the movement and the TTK and everything like that. Like I don't see it working that well, and especially with like how I wouldn't say how hard it is to get loaded, but like how expensive they are in like quads and stuff. Like I don't know, I just don't see it working out that well.
I wonder. I really do wonder. I mean, I think there's been some. So they had different versions of ranked and competitive in Fortnite, and so it was. I saw. I think everything. I think I saw quads and solos and duos. I just, as it stands, to your point, I think it makes a lot more sense for in the last version of this game because there was the serious outplayability with the movement. I think you had one-shot snipers because how are you going to have like a ranked match where everything is a mid-range encounter? Like if there's no sniping, that completely changes it, you know? If you don't have and like people say that one-shot snipers suck, but they're one-shot snipers and almost, I mean, like CSGO, I don't know, Valorant. I guess Fortnite took them out, but there's the Kraber and Apex. So, I mean, like most other competitive ranked has a one-shot sniper. I think it just kind of balances the encounters. And everything is not like a short to mid-range encounter. So I think there's value in that. I think they're going to make it like ranked with limited weapons, customization to weapons and perks. I hope so. And I think that makes sense. But I think if they buff the damage, then I think that tells that is so much validation to what people have been saying since this game first came out. What do you think? I think you could. No, I don't think you can use the Sheikah Island for anything. So is it Al Mazrah and you drop in with specific weapons? I don't know. What do you think in terms of weapons and
like
load up?
Mazrah would probably work better, but I'm not too sure how much better it would work for FPS.
Yeah, for sure.
So I just don't see it working out that well. Like unless they like limit weapons and everything like that. Like I don't know.
Well, that's how they do it in ranked, and that's how they do it in the league. I mean, they have stuff that'll do GAs for gentlemen's agreements for certain attachments and certain streaks and certain perks. They'll have certain guns that they like. Everyone agrees that it's overpowered and they won't use it. So I think that's what it looks like. I just if they have a good concept for it, like good on them, and maybe it'll be awesome. But I can't conceptualize that in my mind right now. You know what I mean when I say that? Like, how does this work out? How does it work out in a way that people are okay with? Like, and it actually functions.
Only way I could see it working out is buffing sniper damage, increasing the movement in any way, whether it's making you faster or whatever, allowing you to take more damage so you can actually react properly, and banning any dual wield pistols, RPK, and the Fennec. That's all I could see that would really work for it.
Explosive damage weapons, fire damage, explosive damage,
Oh, yeah.
no dual pistols,
Ban the bomb drones.
ban the bomb drones, increase TTK. I mean, dude, think about this. I don't think it's crazy to say this, but I think you double the HP for Warzone competitive,
Yeah,
Warzone ranked.
I think doubling the HP is probably better.
Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, I think that's exciting. Have you played Ashika Island? It has changed. It has changed things to be able to plate as you're moving. But dude, every time we come out with a new mode on a smaller map, I am really disappointed by how campy the community is. People will sit on loadout drops for 10 or 15 minutes. So it just ends up being frustrating, you know?
I imagine that just feels like Rebirth again. It's like, oh, free loadouts are here. Let's go get it. Oh, wait, I'm dead now.
Yeah, for sure. Dude, we think about it, and I think everybody was done with Warzone, and then I think Rebirth kind of saved it not only saved Warzone, but I think it saved Call of Duty because like I think people were done. My camera's out of focus. There we go. I think people were kind of done with Warzone conceptually, but then and Rebirth is not Resurgence mode is not battle royale. I mean, it's like multiplayer, but I think that kind of saved Call of Duty itself.
That reminds me of something.
Tell me.
This is kind of a hot take, but I feel like Warzone it wouldn't have performed anywhere near as well as it did if the pandemic never happened. I feel like that's the only reason Warzone actually succeeded was because of the pandemic.
All right, so you read my mind. That's actually our last topic. It's interesting. It's interesting that you brought that up because today is the 3-year anniversary of Warzone 1 coming out. So it came out on March 10th, 2020. And it was at the very beginning of the pandemic. And to your point, I think if people had other things to do, and what the pandemic also did, it delayed development on other games. So Warzone was the only game in town for a while there, you know?
Oh, for sure.
So flesh that out for me. What do you think about it? I mean, what was it about it that kind of made it? Because we all played it, and like I believe it was 10 or 15 million people played it in the first few weeks of it. I mean, like it's just insane numbers. So was it actually that good, or was it just kind of like the only show in town and we didn't have any other options?
I think it was just because everyone was inside. Like you said, there wasn't really a whole lot of other games. A lot of them got delayed, pushed back. And I feel like that was probably the reason why. It's just everyone's inside. There's nothing to do. A lot of people are getting into gaming now. Like I just felt like it wasn't like as much as the pandemic sucked. I felt like it was kind of like a new era for gaming. Like there was a lot more people playing it. It was really alive. And I can't remember who is the one that said something like this, where you would constantly like see Warzone clips all over your For You page and everything. Like you'd see Warzone clips basically everywhere you went.
It's true.
And I feel like just being inside, not really having anything to do, everyone like being online, working from home, doing school at home, I feel like that really just really helped it.
Well, and then it not only helped that, but I think it helped content creation as a whole, because I feel like there are a lot of people that made their name off of Warzone. So it was like they were attached to that movement that was Warzone, and they became big as a result. No, I think you're right, man. I feel like we're seeing the fallout from that. I feel like there are people who have 5 or 6 viewers on their stream now because all of that's died down. So that's I guess that's the value of having people that are following you and not following a game, as far as content creation goes.
Yeah, and there's another thing that I heard Jeff say a couple days ago in one of his Sons of the Force videos, is that if Warzone dies like fully dead, like no one cares about anymore, Call of Duty is gonna be just fine. Like Warzone dying doesn't really mean anything for Call of Duty. Multiplayer and everything, that's kind of like the backbone for Call of Duty. So if Warzone doesn't perform well, if Warzone dies, doesn't really matter. And I think that's kind of being shown with how everyone's enjoying ranked play.
No, I agree. I agree with you. And I think people will they'll find something regardless. And it's good. It's good for Call of Duty that it has found this. It has found this one element that is not Warzone. Because I think for a while there, like people were saying that games couldn't survive without a battle royale mode, and I'm excited that doesn't seem to be the case. Because I feel so battle royale out at this point. Like fucking give me a good multiplayer. And like everybody was saying Halo Infinite, and I honestly wonder if that's one of the reasons that Halo Infinite didn't succeed is because it didn't have a battle royale. It's like, well, why does it have to have a battle royale? Why can't it just have a good multiplayer?
I don't know. I feel like battle royales are just getting like really overdone. Like I feel like pretty much every single game that was coming out every now and then, like it had a battle royale.
Yeah, split.
And I don't know if it was just me because I'm not really like too into battle royales, but I don't know. I just felt like really tired out just seeing all these different games come out, and so many even though it come out would like die like day one. I think it was Hyperscape that it's called.
Hyperscape. Yep.
Dead day one. Like just completely dead. No one even remembers it.
Isn't that hilarious? Splitgate, Hyperscape, all of those other one. Both a good game has to be both a multiplayer and battle royale. I think we're starting to see that may not be the case. I mean, I don't know. I think a good battle royale can build on a good multiplayer. I think they can complement each other, but I think it's people became over reliant on battle royales themselves. And then I felt like that whole element of it was overdone. All right, so we got a few people hanging around. Honestly, dude, I feel like this is a pretty good one. What do you want to do? You want to do this next week? This went pretty well, man.
Oh, definitely.
All right, so we got a few people in TikTok chat. You guys got any questions, anything you want to talk about, let me know. We don't have any we're going to have to build some interest in this. We don't have as many people sticking around for the podcast as we used to. Did I hear about the new hack in Apex? I didn't hear about the new hack in Apex. I wonder if he's going to tell me about it. I don't know if James is still here.
The new hack in Apex. I haven't played Apex in so long.
It's I don't know, man. I'm gonna definitely play some of that this weekend. I'm gonna mix up CS:GO, Valorant, Apex, and Fortnite. You want to play Fortnite later?
I still have to install it.
All right, yeah, me too. So I'm gonna finish eating and do all that. All right, so we got a good VOD. I think we got some good content. I think we got let's do it again next week. I don't know, and then we'll see what happens with the finals. We'll talk about the finals next week and see if we were right about Black Ops 2 blowing out Modern Warfare 2.
I feel like it's probably going to be somewhere between Modern Warfare 2 20%, BO2 80%.
Oh, you're calling
it's going to be like 50-50.
A full-on
I don't think there's any
blowout
or anything like that.
Interesting.
It's either BO2 is either going to sweep it or it's going to be 50-50.
Interesting. That's an interesting call. I feel like 60-40 is going. It's going to be like it's going to be pronounced enough to where it's like it got the beat down, but I don't. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be in question. All right, people, we're going to hop off. I had a really good time. We're going to keep doing this. I don't care if nobody watches. It'd be cool if people do watch because we can do a Q&A segment and I can start teasing it out. But, Zach, I appreciate you being on, man. Let's do this again next week.
For sure.
All right, people, we'll talk to you later.